What if disaster strikes tonight? Would you be ready? Floods, hurricanes, blackouts, wildfires, and the chaos they bring can happen without warning. When the lights go out, when stores run empty, when help is hours or days away, will you have what it takes to keep your family safe? The American Red Cross has revealed 15 life-saving items you absolutely must have in your home, and not knowing them could cost you more than just discomfort. Now, it could cost you your survival. What's scarier? Most people don't even realize how unprepared they are until it's too late. From keeping you warm in freezing temperatures to providing clean water when every last drop has vanished, these essential items aren't just nice to have. They are your lifeline in a crisis. If you think it couldn't happen to you, think again. Disasters don't discriminate. Will you be ready when your world turns upside down? Stick with us as we break down these 15 must-have items, why you need them, and how they could literally save your life. And before we jump in, don't wait. Hit that subscribe button now so you're always one step ahead of the unexpected. Preparedness starts today. Number 15, the hand crank radio. Now, imagine this nightmare scenario. Complete darkness has swallowed your home. Your phone's battery? Dead. No internet, no TV, no way to know what's happening outside. Is help on the way? Is the storm worsening? Are there evacuation orders? You have no idea. This is the chaos you might face during a prolonged blackout or a natural disaster. And the one thing that can shatter that suffocating silence? A hand crank radio. This isn't just a gadget, it's your lifeline. A hand crank radio ensures you stay informed even when there's no electricity for days or weeks. By simply cranking the handle, you generate enough power to listen to critical weather updates, emergency alerts, or announcements that could save you and your family's lives. No need for batteries. No need to rely on anyone else. Some models go even further, offering solar charging capabilities to soak up what little light might pierce through a grim sky. You can also charge it beforehand from a wall outlet. Be prepared before disaster strikes. And if things couldn't get worse, this little hero has your back in more than one way. Need light in the suffocating dark? It has a built-in flashlight. Trying to call for help but your phone's dead? Many come equipped with USB ports to charge your devices. Advanced versions even have strobe lights to signal your location and alarms to grab attention if you're stranded or in danger. With a hand crank radio, you won't just have information, you'll have control. When the world feels like it's caving in, this device is what keeps the chaos at bay. Trust me, this isn't something you want to be scrambling for at the last minute. Number 14. Cash, your backup plan. Picture this. The power grid is down, the internet has vanished, and every ATM you see is either out of service or surrounded by desperate crowds. Your credit and debit cards? Just pieces of plastic now. Supermarket systems, gas stations, and even vending machines. None of them can process your payments. What do? Without cash, you might just find yourself bartering with the shirt off your back. This bleak reality is why cash is non-negotiable during a crisis. When electronics fail, cash becomes king. The Red Cross urges everyone to keep a stash of physical currency. Small bills, not large ones. Why? Because no one is going to have change for a $100 bill during an emergency. Small denominations are easier to use, whether you're buying water, fuel, or some dry food to get through the night. And it's not just about buying. Cash can also be a powerful bargaining chip. Need batteries or a flashlight from a neighbor? Cash will get you further than promises or good intentions. But here's the catch. You have to be smart about where you store it. Keep it in a secure, hidden spot, somewhere safe yet easy to grab in case you need to evacuate in a hurry. A fireproof safe or even a discreet compartment in your go bag can make all the difference. We live in a world that thrives on digital transactions, but don't be fooled. When the chips are down and the grid goes dark, those ones and zeros in your bank app mean nothing. Cash, on the other hand, is survival in the palm of your hand. Without it, you're as good as stranded when the world goes sideways. Don't take that chance. Stockpile your backup today. Number 13. Non-perishable foods secured nourishment. Picture this. Grocery store shelves stripped bare, the lines stretched far beyond the doors. The chaos is palpable, hungry faces, frantic shoppers, and no guarantee of restock. What would you do? If you haven't prepared, you're staring down a grim and desperate reality. This is why non-perishable food is more than a convenience. It's survival. It might just be the difference between sitting hungry in the dark or pushing through with strength and energy when disaster strikes. Non-perishable foods are your best ally. We're talking about canned goods, dry pasta, rice, oatmeal, granola bars, peanut butter, and even dehydrated meals. The Red Cross warns you need at least a 3-day supply for evacuations, but for situations that trap you at home, 2 weeks' worth is the bare minimum. And this isn't just about quantity, it's about smart planning. Stock food that's easy to prepare without electricity and doesn't rely on refrigeration. No one wants spoiled food when hope is already running thin. But here's the kicker. You can't just buy the food and forget about it. You have to rotate it. Stay ahead of expiration dates. Use up older items and replace them with fresh stock. This keeps your supply ready for the moment you need it most. For an extra edge, consider a dehydrated food kit. These have shelf lives that stretch years. And they're portable, perfect for quick getaways. Don't overlook the small details either. A can opener, some utensils, reusable plates. These are the keys to keeping things usable when everything else feels impossible. When the stores are empty and panic sets in, no one will care about the flashy groceries on Instagram anymore. Non-perishable food is survival, plain and simple. Ignore this and you're gambling with your most basic human need. And in a crisis, that's a price too high to pay. Number 12. Medication's a must-have resource. Imagine this, trapped in your home, roads blocked, pharmacies shuttered, and your medication supply is dwindling. The headache starts first, then the dizziness, and soon your condition spirals out of control. Without your daily meds, a small setback can snowball into a life-threatening emergency in the blink of an eye. This is the grim reality many face who fail to prepare for the worst. If you rely on prescription medication to manage your health, it is non-negotiable to plan ahead. The Red Cross recommends keeping at least a 7-day supply at all times. This stockpile could be the thin line between staying stable or battling a serious medical crisis during a disaster. But prescriptions aren't the whole story. What about those sudden ailments like a pounding fever or an allergic reaction? That's why your kit also needs over-the-counter essentials: ibuprofen, Tylenol, antacids, antidiarrheals, and antihistamines. These seemingly small items become priceless when there's no pharmacy open for miles. Take it a step further. Pack a thermometer. It seems basic, but when illness hits, knowing if a fever is spiking can guide crucial decisions. And don't just throw your meds in a random bag. Organize them in an airtight container and store them in a cool, dry spot to protect their potency. But here's a critical tip. If possible, speak to your doctor today about securing an extra supply of your prescriptions. Don't assume you'll be able to get your hands on them when disaster strikes. Chaos doesn't wait for refills. Failing to prepare means gambling with your health and your life. When an emergency cuts you off from the world, the medications you stock now will either save you or their absence could bring everything crashing down. Don't take that risk. Prepare before it's too late. Number 11. Portable chargers. Stay connected. Picture this: a blackout that stretches into days, maybe even weeks. Your home is plunged into darkness. Communication is down. Your phone, the one linked to emergency updates, loved ones, and the outside world, flashes that dreaded low battery warning. The panic starts to set in. Imagine not being able to call for help, check weather alerts, or even find out if it's safe to evacuate. This is the harsh reality when power fails, and you're left without a lifeline. That's why a portable charger isn't just smart, it's essential. A fully charged power bank ensures your phone or other devices stay alive when everything else around you is failing. But not all chargers are created equal. Choose one with serious capacity, enough to charge your phone multiple times before it needs recharging itself. And if you want to be one step ahead of the game, look for models that come with solar panels. These game-changing chargers soak up energy from the sun, turning an endless blackout into just another challenge you've already prepared for. Here's a crucial tip. Don't wait until it's too late. Charge your portable chargers right now and keep them topped up as part of your emergency kit. And don't forget about an extra charging cable. Think about it. Cables wear out and snap at the worst possible moments. A spare cable might just be the thing that keeps your gear functioning when disaster strikes. Your phone isn't just a convenience, it's a tool for survival. Without it, you lose access to life-saving information and ways to reach out for help. Don't gamble with something so critical. Invest in portable chargers, make them a priority in your kit, and ensure they're ready to go. Because when the lights go out and the world turns chaotic, these small devices can be the difference between being connected or completely cut off. Number 10. Important documents, keeping your identity and safety secure. Now, picture this. You've just survived the initial chaos of a disaster. Maybe it's a hurricane, or maybe it's a wildfire creeping closer to what used to be your home. You've lost electricity, you've lost possessions, maybe even shelter. But what happens if you also lose your identity? No ID, no proof of insurance, no record of who you are. Suddenly, your problems have doubled, and you're in a fight not just for survival, but for your future. This is why safeguarding your important documents is absolutely critical. Think about what you would need when everything else is gone. IDs, passports, birth certificates, property deeds, insurance policies, medical files. These aren't just papers. They are proof of your life, your existence, and they'll be the tools you need to rebuild when the dust settles. Having both paper copies and digital backups could mean the difference between getting immediate help or being stuck in a bureaucratic nightmare. Here's the key. Get a waterproof bag for storage. Better yet, opt for a fireproof and waterproof safe. Emergencies don't play nice, and these protective measures could be the thing that saves your documents from water, flames, or crushing debris. Keep them organized. Know exactly where to find them when minutes count. And don't stop there. Digitize everything. You need a secure USB drive and cloud storage for redundancy. If the physical documents are destroyed or lost, these digital backups are your safety net. Don't forget a list of emergency contacts. Your insurance company, your doctor, family members. Keep it alongside your documents. Relying on luck is not the solution here. If an emergency rips through your life, your documents are the key to proving who you are, reclaiming what's yours, and getting critical help fast. Skipping this step could leave you not just vulnerable, but stranded in chaos with no way to move forward. Don't underestimate it. Secure your identity now. Number 9. Local maps, your guide when technology fails. Imagine this. Chaos has struck. The power grid is gone. Cell towers are down. And your trusted GPS? Nothing but a blank screen. You're left trying to figure out where to go, how to get to safety, or even where to find basic resources like water and shelter. Suddenly, the roads you thought you knew feel like a maze, and every wrong turn could lead to danger. This is what happens when you're caught in an emergency without a plan, and more importantly, without a map. Local maps are more than just old-fashioned paper. They're your key to survival. These maps don't rely on batteries, signals, or technology to guide you. A detailed roadmap of your area can show you alternate routes when main roads are blocked or destroyed. And if you really want to be prepared, topographic maps are a game changer. They show rivers, hills, and other land features. Critical information if you're forced to travel on foot, especially in rural or disaster-prone areas. But don't just toss a folded map in your bag and call it a day. Protect it. A waterproof bag can shield your map from rain, leaks, or accidents, ensuring it's ready when you need it most. And here's another pro tip. Learn your map now. Emergencies don't leave time to figure things out on the fly. Familiarize yourself with key routes and landmarks so you won't waste precious moments flipping pages or feeling lost. When all else fails, when technology abandons you in your darkest hour, a simple piece of paper could be the one thing standing between you and catastrophe. Those who prepare with local maps will know where to go and how to get there. Those who don't, they may find themselves wandering, helpless, into the unknown. Don't take the chance. Secure your survival. Get your maps now. Number 8. The multi-tool, versatility in your pocket. Picture this. You're facing an emergency head-on. It's chaotic, supplies are limited, and every moment becomes a test of resourcefulness. Suddenly, you need to cut a rope, fix a broken clasp, open a can, or tighten a loose screw. Time is running out and you have nothing on hand. The feeling of helplessness creeps in fast. Now imagine how much easier everything would be if you had a single tool capable of tackling all these challenges and more. Enter the multi-tool, your ultimate ally in survival. These small but mighty gadgets are nothing short of life-saving during an emergency. A good multi-tool is like having a complete toolbox sitting in the palm of your hand. It brings together pliers, screwdrivers, knives, scissors, files, and other essential tools, all within one compact, foldable design. And here's the thing, it's not just convenient, it's absolutely critical when disaster strikes. Imagine trying to open a can without a can opener, or repair a vital piece of gear without the right tools. Doesn't sound promising, does it? But not all multi-tools are equal. Cheap ones might break at the worst possible moment, leaving you in an even worse situation. Invest in a high-quality, durable model, one you can absolutely depend on when it matters most. Stainless steel versions with locking mechanisms are a solid choice, since you'll need reliability, not rust, in a crisis. And here's a tip. Don't just store one in your emergency supplies. Keep an extra in your car's glove box. Emergencies can hit you anywhere, and the road is no exception. Here's the chilling truth. Without a reliable multi-tool, even the simplest of tasks can become insurmountable during a crisis. This tiny gadget could mean the difference between fixing a life-saving issue on the spot or being helplessly stuck. Stock one now, because when disaster hits, versatility in your pocket might just be the one thing that saves you. Number 7. Flashlight. Light your way through the unknown. Picture this. The world around you has gone pitch black. The hum of power lines, the reassuring glow of streetlights, it's all gone. You can't see your hand in front of your face, and every shadow feels like a lurking danger. Then you hear it. A crash. A shuffle. You're alone, fumbling, helpless in the dark, with no way to see what's coming. This isn't just inconvenient, it's terrifying. A flashlight, something so simple, could change everything in that moment. This isn't just about light, it's about survival. Imagine trying to find your way out of a crumbling building, moving through debris, or searching for supplies in the dead of night. Without a flashlight, every step is a hazard. Every second feels like a fight against the unknown. And here's the thing, not just any flashlight will do. You need one that's tough, dependable, and built for the worst conditions. Look for models that are waterproof and shockproof. Emergencies don't care if you drop your flashlight or if it rains. You can't afford one that fails you. Today's flashlights come with incredible features. Rechargeable options mean you don't have to rely on endless batteries, and some even charge with solar panels, a lifesaver when electricity is out for days. And don't overlook headlamps. These give you the freedom to use both hands. Whether you're cooking, fixing something crucial, or helping someone injured, this can be a game changer. But don't stop at just having one flashlight. Batteries drain, devices fail. Stock extra batteries and consider flashlights with power-saving modes to stretch them further. Keep one in your kit, another in your car, maybe even one by your bedside. Here's the bottom line. Darkness is disorienting, dangerous, and deadly. A flashlight is more than a source of light. It's your lifeline. When disaster forces you into the dark, will you be ready? Or will you stumble, blind, into the unknown? Don't wait to find out. Get your flashlight before it's too late. Number 6, drinking water, the essence of life. Imagine this. Disaster strikes. The taps run dry. Shelves and stores are stripped bare. You're surrounded by chaos, and the one thing your body needs to survive is suddenly out of reach. Without water, your strength fades fast. Dehydration creeps in, bringing dizziness, confusion, and worse. Within just 3 days, a lack of water can be fatal. It isn't just a possibility, it's a very real threat during emergencies. Water is the most basic yet most essential resource for survival. That's why the Red Cross urges everyone to store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. This isn't optional, it's mandatory for staying alive. This recommendation covers your drinking needs, cooking, and basic hygiene. Think about it. If you're a family of 4, you'll need 28 gallons to survive just 2 weeks. Sound like a lot? Maybe, but imagine the alternative. Going without would be catastrophic. Now, how do you stockpile this liquid lifeline? Start with sturdy food-grade containers specifically designed for long-term storage. Large 5-gallon jugs work well, but don't overlook smaller, portable bottles. They're especially useful if you need to evacuate quickly. But stockpiling alone isn't enough. Emergencies are unpredictable. Earthquakes, hurricanes, or even contaminated supplies could leave you needing to find water elsewhere. That's why water filters and purification tablets are non-negotiable. These tools can save your life if your only option is an unreliable water source. Here's the hard truth. Natural disasters can rip away the luxuries we take for granted, and access to water is often the first casualty. By storing enough clean water now, you're not just guaranteeing survival, you're eliminating panic in moments of chaos. Water isn't just life, it's time, strength, and hope. Without it, there's nothing. Are you willing to gamble on having enough when disaster comes? Or will you prepare today and secure your future? Don't wait until the taps run dry. Start stockpiling your water now. Number 5. First aid kit, your mini portable hospital. Imagine disaster strikes, a storm, an earthquake, or worse. Chaos is everywhere, and suddenly someone you love is hurt. Blood is pooling from a deep gash, or maybe a burn is blistering their skin. You frantically search for help, but there's no ambulance, no ER, no doctor. The streets are blocked, the hospitals are overwhelmed, and you're completely on your own. Can you handle it? Without a first aid kit, the answer is a grim no. A first aid kit isn't just a box, it's your lifeline, your mini portable hospital when medical help is out of reach. Minor injuries can spiral into life-threatening infections if untreated. That's why every survival kit must include a comprehensive first aid kit. And I'm not talking about a flimsy plastic box with a couple of Band-Aids. You need a serious, survival-grade kit stocked to the brim. Your kit should include the essentials: bandages, gauze, disinfectant, medical tape, scissors, tweezers, and disposable gloves. Add in a thermal blanket, because shock can strike in an instant, and basic medications like painkillers, antihistamines, antacids, and antiseptics. Got family members with specific needs? Think inhalers, EpiPens, or prescription medication. Their survival could depend on your foresight, but one kit isn't enough. Disasters don't follow convenient schedules. Keep one at home and another in your car or emergency bag, ensuring you're always prepared no matter where you are. Expiration dates are critical, so check your supplies regularly. Don't wait until you're in a crisis to find out your medication is useless. Think about it. An untreated wound can fester, infections can spread, and lives can be lost. The kit is forever. If you're caught unprepared, the consequences are unthinkable. A first aid kit is your weapon against injury, your hope in uncertainty. Don't roll the dice with your safety or your family's. Secure your mini hospital now before you need it most. Number 4. Extra batteries, your silent lifesavers. Imagine this. Your entire home is plunged into darkness. The power is long gone and you clutch your flashlight, only to realize its batteries are dead. You try to turn on your emergency radio, but nope, that too won't work. Everything around you is chaotic, and now you're effectively cut off from light, communication, and any sense of security. All because you didn't stock enough batteries. Batteries might seem small, they might seem insignificant, but in an emergency, they could be the difference between knowing what's happening outside and being stuck in complete ignorance. Flashlights, radios, portable devices, medical equipment. So much of your survival gear depends on these tiny, powerful tools, and if you run out at the wrong time, that's a situation you don't want to face. Not all emergencies are short. Power outages could stretch on for days, maybe even weeks after a natural disaster. That's why you need to stockpile batteries like your life depends on it. Start by making a list of all your essential gear and what types of batteries each one needs. Whenever possible, standardize your devices to use the same battery type. This avoids confusion and ensures you're not scrambling for the right size in the dark. Keeping a mix of AA, AAA, and other types is crucial too. Now, storage matters. Keep your stash in a dry, watertight container. Moisture can ruin batteries before you even get a chance to use them. Have them stored in an accessible spot, because when the power's out and panic sets in, digging through piles of clutter won't help. And here's a pro tip. Rechargeable batteries combined with a solar charger or portable generator. This gives you a renewable source of power, even when the outage drags on endlessly. Number 3. Wool blankets, your shield against the cold. Picture this, a brutal winter storm. The power grid collapses, leaving you and your family shivering in a freezing home. The temperature drops hour by hour. Your breath fogs the air, frost creeps across the windows, and the cold sets deep in your bones. Without proper preparation, hypothermia becomes a chilling reality. Now imagine having no way to keep warm. That's the nightmare people faced during the devastating Texas winter blackouts, and many paid the price for being unprepared. Wool blankets aren't just a comfort, they're a lifeline in the face of extreme cold. Wool stands head and shoulders above other materials for one key reason: it retains warmth, even when wet. A soaked fleece or cotton blanket leaves you defenseless, but wool keeps insulating no matter what. Developers and product line analysts engineered a perfection worth being called wool, designed to maximize warmth. It's tough, durable, and built for survival. These blankets can do more than keep you warm. They can act as makeshift beds, add insulation to block freezing winds, or even line your shelter for extra protection. But don't think for a second that you can get by with just one. You need at least one wool blanket per person in your household, and frankly, more wouldn't hurt. When temperatures plummet, you'll want every layer of warmth you can get. If your area is prone to flooding, store these blankets high and dry. Losing them to water damage during a disaster is not an option. Don't underestimate the value of this simple item in a life-threatening scenario. The cold isn't just a discomfort, it's deadly. When the power dies and the temperature falls, it's your wool blankets that will stand between you and the bitter, creeping freeze of winter's wrath. Trust us, you do not want to face those icy nights unprepared. Stock up now and store them wisely, because warmth is survival. Without it, you're at the mercy of the cold. Number 2, hygiene items, the overlooked lifesaver. When disaster hits, survival is all anyone thinks about. Food, water, shelter. But what happens when the days stretch into weeks and you're stuck without basic hygiene essentials? Picture this: no running water, no clean bathroom, no garbage pickup. Trash piles up, filth spreads, and sickness takes hold. And it happens quickly. The truth is, Neglecting hygiene in an emergency isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Hygiene items are more than just nice to have. They are your line of defense against illness and infection in already stressful, unsanitary conditions. Your emergency kit needs the basics. Think toilet paper, wet wipes, soap, toothbrushes, and toothpaste. These aren't luxuries, they're lifesavers. Hand sanitizer is a must, too, because when water is scarce, germs don't take a break. And don't forget feminine hygiene products like sanitary pads or tampons. They're non-negotiable for many. Have kids? Babies are especially vulnerable, so pack diapers, wipes, and their specific needs. These little details will save you in ways you won't fully appreciate until you're in the thick of it. Garbage bags are another underestimated hero. Without them, trash quickly piles up, attracting pests and spreading disease. The best part? Stocking up doesn't have to break the bank. With just a small investment, you can prepare a hygiene kit that lasts weeks. Store everything in a dry, secure place and make sure it's easily accessible. Think of past disasters, images of people stuck in shelters for days, overcrowded with deteriorating conditions, and think about how preventable much of that misery can be. With proper hygiene items, you protect not only your physical health, but also your dignity. Don't leave yourself defenseless against illness and squalor. Hygiene may seem small in the moment, but when disaster strikes, it will be your lifeline to feeling human amidst the chaos. Stock up, stay clean, stay safe. Number 1, power banks, the lifeline to your digital world. The lights go out, the power is gone. Your phone beeps its final warning, 1% battery remaining. Now you're cut off, no calls for help, no news updates, no way to reach anyone during the chaos. Imagine being isolated, alone, and powerless while the world outside spirals into uncertainty. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a full-blown disaster when every second counts. A power bank isn't just a gadget. It's your digital lifeline in emergencies. These portable powerhouses store electricity so you can charge critical devices like your phone, tablet, or even other life-saving tech when all else fails. But not all power banks are created equal. You need one with a serious capacity, something that can charge your phone multiple times over. And don't fall for cheap, unreliable versions that might fail just when you need them most. This is where every dashboard comes in. Invest in quality, because during prolonged power outages, this will be the backbone of your survival toolkit. For emergencies that stretch into days, consider solar power banks. These are game changers. With solar charging, you've got a renewable energy source even when the grid stays dead for weeks. But here's the catch. Don't just buy one and forget about it. Regularly check your power banks to make sure they're fully charged and ready to go. A dead power bank in a blackout is nothing more than a useless brick. Think beyond convenience. This is about survival. No power, no communication, no information. Without charged devices, you're in the dark, completely. You'll lose access to everything from emergency warnings to vital connections with loved ones. The world doesn't stop during a disaster, but without power, you might as well be cut off from it entirely.